Hello everyone and welcome you all on SVV channels. Myself Shama Shah and today I am going to explain you 11th accountancy topic basic accounting terms. Students, terminology, which means specific words for a specific subject and they have a specific meaning, and terminology plays a very important role to understand a particular subject. Even you can say that terminology is the foundation to understand a particular subject. So let's start with the accountancy terms. Students, you will come across many terms in accountancy like capital, drawing, assets, expenditure, inventories, receipts, etc. Now let them understand one by one. Entity. It can be defined as a distinct unit which perform business activity. That means any unit which is performing business activity, maybe is a sole proprietorship, maybe a partnership firm, maybe a company, but in total they are performing some or the other business activity, and any such enterprise can be known as business entity. And like sole proprietors Kundan Jewelers, partnership Batra and Sons, and for company we can say Infosys Limited. The company may be a private company or maybe a public company. Business transaction. A business transaction is an economic activity that can be measured in terms of money and which affects the financial position of the business entity. That means any transaction or any economic activity which we can measure in terms of money, only those transactions can be recorded in the accounts, like purchase of goods and sale of goods. But there are some transactions which will affect the business, but as we cannot record them in terms of money, we cannot record it in our accounts. Just for an example, suppose an efficient employee leave your organization, and because of that your organization has to suffer. They may suffer a loss. But as you cannot measure it in terms of money, you cannot record it in your business. Next is capital. Students, to start any business or to increase any business, definitely each and every business need investment. Investment may be in the form of cash or in the form of asset, and the businessman or the owner brings the amount of investment, and in accounts or in commerce we say it as a capital. That means any amount which is invested by the owner, maybe in the form of cash or in the form of asset, are known as capital. Capital can also be calculated as total assets of the firm minus external liabilities. I have especially used the word external liability. That means capital is also a liability, but it is a type of internal liability. Next is drawings. It is an amount withdrawn by the owner in cash or in asset or goods form from the business for his personal use. Drawing reduces the capital of the owner in the business. Students, whatever amount that has been invested by the firm increase the liability for the business. Therefore, any amount which is withdrawn by the owner reduces the capital of the owner, and they are known as drawings. Goods. Students, in general, goods means we understand that each and everything which we can see, we can touch, or we can say any tangible thing is a good. But in accountancy, it is not so. Goods are the articles in which a business deals. Goods are the items which are purchased for the purpose of resale, not for the use in the business or not for the personal use. For example, a furniture dealer, whatever furniture he is having in his shop, he has kept it there for resale. and not for his personal use or in business. And because of that, furniture is a good for a furniture dealer. But it is a subject, goods are subjective. The same furniture will not be good for the another one. Goods can be purchased in cash or credit, and goods may be sold in cash and credit. Next is assets. Assets are the property, may be movable or immovable, or we can say that on anything which we have a legal right owed by an individual or business. All those things, all those properties are known as our assets. But asset can be broadly divided into two parts: non-current assets and current assets. Now let us understand them separately. First of all, non-current assets. Students, non-current assets are held by the firm or it facilitates business operations. They are held for a long period of time and they are not meant for resale or converting into cash. I have given you an example when I was explaining you goods, that for a furniture seller, furniture is a good which he has kept for resale. But if out of all those furniture he keeps one of the table for his own use, that means he will not resell it, then that particular asset will become a non-current asset for the firm, because that table will be used for a long period of time. Non-current asset can be further divided into two: fixed assets and long-term investment. And fixed assets can also be of two types, which can be tangible assets or intangible assets. Now you know very well what are tangible assets. Tangible are the things which we can touch, feel, for example land, building, furniture. Or we can say anything which has a physical existence are known as tangible assets. But there are some assets which don't have a physical existence. For an example, goodwill of the firm, patents, trademarks, copyrights. This all we cannot see, but they benefit a firm for a long period of time, and that's why they all are known as intangible assets. Now coming to current assets. Current assets are held by an enterprise for a short period of time and they can be converted into cash within one accounting period. That means within a year. For an example, our stock, inventory, debtors, cash, bank balance, our raw material, any investment which we have made for short time period of. And next is fictitious asset. Student, I have explained you two type of assets, non-current assets and current assets, and there can be one more type of assets which is known as fictitious asset. Fictitious assets are the losses written off in more than one accounting period. That means any expense or loss which we have incurred but we cannot write it off in one particular accounting period. So we will carry it on for few years and will write it off one year by year. For an example, deferred revenue expenditure or discount or loss on issue of debentures. Now coming to the liabilities. The liabilities are the amount owed by the business, or in the simplest way you can say that any amount which a owner need to pay in future is known as a liability. Again, liability can be divided into two parts: non-current liability and current liability, the same way we have divided the assets. Now, what are non-current liabilities? They are payable after a period of more than a year or after the end of the accounting period. That means whenever your accounting period will end, suppose on 31st March 2020 your accounting period is getting over and you need not to pay till 31st March 2021. That means the repayment is for more than a year. then those type of liabilities become non-current liability. For an example, long-term loans and debentures. Now coming to current liability. Current liabilities are those liabilities which we need to pay within 12 months from the end of accounting period. Let's take the same dates. For an example, on 31st March 2020, your accounting period is ending and you need to pay to some of your creditors on or before 31st March 2021. That means in less than one accounting period. And because of that, those liabilities will be known as current liability. For an example, creditors, bills payables, short-term loans, etc. Now coming to the next, purchase. Purchase means the goods bought for resale, raw material for producing finished goods to be sold. That means you may purchase finished goods or you may purchase the raw material and convert into the finished goods. But whatever things or whatever raw material or product you are buying for resale, that is known as purchase of goods. Then next is sale. Sale means the sale of goods in which the firm deals in. That means whatever is good. Good, that means I have already explained you the product in which the business is dealing. For an example, the furniture seller whenever sells some or the other furniture, then that particular thing is known as sale. Then purchase return, or we can also say it as return outward. Any goods which we have purchased may be returned to the seller on account of defect or on any other misbehavior or misconduct, whatever the seller has done. But if you are not liking the goods and you are returning it to the seller again, then that thing is known as purchase return. Next is sales return. We sell the good as a businessman to the customers, but maybe due to some or the other reason, customer come to us again and return the goods, and that is known as sales return, or you can also say it as return inward. Next is solvent. Who is known as a solvent? A person or a business who is in a position to pay its debt. Debt, that means external liability. So whosoever is able to pay his debt on time, that person is known as solvent. The next term is insolvent, and I think this term you must have heard lots of time. Insolvent is a person or a business who is not in a position to pay its debt. And whenever a person or a business don't pay its debt to the external persons, then that person or business is known as insolvent. Next is proprietor. Proprietor is a person who makes the investment and bears the risk, or you can say in other terms, the owner of the business. Book value. Book value is the value at which the item appears in the books of account. So whatever value you are writing in each balance sheet, that particular value is known as book value of the asset or book value of the liability. Next is voucher. Voucher is a written evidence of a particular business transaction. For example, a cash memo, invoice, any bill, any receipt. Even you go to a particular shop for some or other thing to purchase, you ask for a bill, and that bill itself is a voucher. From that voucher, anyone can record the transaction. So students, in this video I have explained you some of the transaction, some of the business terminology, and I hope this will help you a lot in studying accountancy. But still there are many more terms which you need to understand, and that we will continue in the next lecture on 7th May. Thank you.